I'm here with Linda Tellington-Jones while she's getting a little better in the hospital. She had a bit of an injury, and that's Linda's story to tell. But Linda did a miracle work with Milo, our dog, yesterday. Milo would be what some people consider reactive. He's a very sensitive boy. He's a good boy, but sensitive. And if another dog starts it with him, he will react and respond in like. And so yesterday I'm walking around on the island here and Linda we were FaceTiming with each other and she says, Elinor, let me see Milo. So I'm like, okay. So I squat down on the ground and I put the screen to Milo and the look that Linda's giving right here, she just looked at him for like 45 seconds intently. And I didn't interrupt, I didn't ask, I didn't know, but he looked straight into the screen, into her also. And then when we finished, and I told her I love her and I got to go, and I kept walking, a small dog, very vigorous, aggressive, came after Milo, and she was barking quite strongly in his face, and she even nipped him on the nose, and he sneezed and just stayed present with her. And that was the first time he's ever done that. He just stayed present with the other dog. And it was so miraculous to see him this way. Never have we seen him this way. And then the dog calmed down and walked away. And then Milo was finished and he continued his walk with me. And I'm like, what the heck happened? So Linda FaceTimed me this morning. Linda,
And so that's how you saw him. And when as you, I think you've heard me say many times, when I look at an animal or a person, what I see is the beauty there. It's the wow factor, the perfection. And I just acknowledge that. It's not that you don't have the other parts of the personality there, but I see the beauty of the divine intelligence in every single cell in the body. And that when I do that, he knows that. And when people ask me, so what are you seeing when I look at this horse that's slightly off or obviously something wrong with them? I don't see what's wrong. I don't, let's put it this way, I don't acknowledge it. I see the beauty and I see this light in every cell in the body. And that's what happens when I believe when we create an acknowledgement that the animal, in this case, Milo, is seen as his true self at the soul level. And what's so interesting to me, I've been doing this for years. And the way I explain it is I just know that every cell in this body, and that's already scientifically proven, now knows its function in the body. I mean, I got that in 1976, reading Sir Charles Sherrington, Man on His Nature, Nobel Prize winner, recognizing photons. And the thing that's so interesting, when he said that every cell in the body knows its function in the body, something happened in me, in my awareness, and I began seeing our bodies, my own body. That took a while longer. Our animals as this collection of, like, in humans, it said average 50 trillion cells that have this light, this intelligence, divine, universal, creative, creator intelligence in every cell in the body. I mean, how do you think we see? How do we feel? How does our blood flow? How does our lymph work? How can we speak? It's not our conscious self. It's this universal, phenomenal in consciousness in every cell in their body. And I've found a way now to be able to explain that. And it came from going back and revisiting Gary Zukav, who wrote The Seat of the Cell in the 70s. And I just happened
oh,
upon
the
it
seat
again.
of
It
the
came up,
soul. Yeah, the seat of the soul,
the
right?
seat of the soul. Right, right. The seat of the
Wow,
soul.
that's
Yeah.
from so
And
long
then
ago.
I started looking on YouTube. And then I found out in the 80s, Oprah had the book had gone viral. I mean, it was a bestseller.
Yeah.
And Oprah found it and she bought it for all her friends, she said on the podcast. You can go on and YouTube and find the Oprah, that first show. And actually, she just talks about it in the 25th anniversary of the book that just came out on Amazon. And she introduces it.
Do you know
And
that
she
that
said that
was
she
my
read
mother?
it
My
faster
mother
than,
had the book too. So I remember my mother reading the book and discussing it with us and my father. That book stayed out in the open for years to refer back to.
isn't that fascinating? And the thing is, what he's done since the Oprah show, Oprah called him and she found his number. She knew he lived in Shasta. So she got a Shasta phone book and she called him. And I just love hear her voice saying, this is Oprah Winfrey. I'd like to put you on my show. And he said, how do you spell that? And didn't have a TV at the time in Mount Shasta. And so uh so she had to explain it. And then she had him on her show for her friends and staff, and it got the highest ratings from my understanding of any
But
show
so
that she'd
so
done.
tell me,
And
aside from Oprah, go back into the seed and the
but I
soul.
want to tell you how I understand that now, because what Gary Zukav is now, ever since their podcasts, like so many podcasts, and they're all a little different. And I listen to them all because they're all based on the new consciousness as opposed to the old consciousness, which is the five senses. And he says in the first one that I read about this or listened to, he said in the old consciousness is when you have five senses, and some very successful people would have a hunch. That's what they called another sense. And he said, now we are multisensory. And what he's talking about is acknowledging the emotions and working with them so that we, and these are my words, hone the soul, that we work with our soul to continue our education of our soul. And it's every time, it's just so incredible. I can't tell you, I listen every single day. And so it explains how I've been, what my first inspiration was Sir Charles Sherrington in 1976. In my Feldenkrais training, that was a recommended book. And it changed my life. I read that one concept that every cell, this is from Sherrington, every cell in the body knows its function in the body. And what I remember him saying, and the function in the universe. And I didn't dare to say that, but of course, if you listen to words about from Maxwell Planck, from Greg Braden, we know that every cell in our body is a reflection of the entire universe. And when you get that, it makes life miraculous. And so we just keep seeing the miracles that we all are. And the more we acknowledge this, and when I look at somebody or an animal and I see that, their body feels it and they remember that. And it's like giving a leg up, a boost to, oh yeah, that's who I am. And the fact that he came to you, Elinor, and you've been thinking, how can I bring this dog to the point that he doesn't react and run behind me out of fear when another dog approaches him, because it's so embarrassing. And it's crowdy on those narrow walks where you have to walk on the island. So he's in a perfect place, and so are you. And all you have to do, it's not that we don't acknowledge these other habits, but wait a minute, you can hold this infinite potential, this quantum science concept of infinite potential. That he can, you can bring him into the body. I mean, you've been doing lots of that with T-Touch, but more quiet. Like, this is where I would focus more on just these short, like 1.25 circles with two, pressure, not more, and then a pause and a breath and a smile. and to recognize and just saying, wow, you are perfect. Instead of thinking, oh, is somebody going to think I'm really stupid that I can't control my dog? Because that's what you're dealing with, fear. So we're talking about love and fear.
Love and fear.
Stuff we've been talking about in T-Touch for years, with Jerry Jampolsky. Love is letting go of fear. And that's the whole basis of what we're dealing with. Choose love over fear. And that's a choice. And I just love the way Carrie Zukoff explains how these choices absolutely make a huge, huge difference in our lives, the consequences of those choices. So, and it's all about love. It's all about love.
It
So all
is
I
all
do is look at him and see, wow, look at this amazing dog. And you have to deal with it. So it's easier for me to see that. But now that I've said that, you're going to be able to see that. And when he reacts, say, wait a minute. Wow, you are amazing, my dear. Just what can we do to bring you into the body so that you can feel trust, absolute trust in me instead of thinking you have to run away and hide. So that's it. Amazing that you saw that, but it is amazing that he actually, I don't know why, because I haven't asked you before to look at him
no,
when you've been walking.
no.
Mm.
And all the times that we talk, and often he is like right now, whenever I talk with you on FaceTime, always my animals come, my cat will come sit in my lap. But this has been forever, for years and years. So every animal we've had in our house, as soon as they hear your voice, they come right here and they're part of it.
Yeah,
And so, um, yeah, that part is so interesting, knowing them, knowing you on that frequency that you communicate in to all
yeah.
that is, right?
Connecting with the soul level.
Connecting with the soul level.
And all the stuff that you've been going through, it brings me back when I was in my 20s. I read a book by Ouspensky, he was a disciple of Gurdjieff, who wrote Meetings with Remarkable Men. And in his book, he states a sentence that has stayed with me all these years, and through every challenge I've been through, I keep reminding me of this sentence, and it's necessary to go through the crystallization of fire in order to hone the soul. So you know, it's like, as I said to you before, it reminds me of another um, speaker I was listening. Oh, somebody had apparently heard that Leonardo da Vinci had said, was asked how he created David. And he said he just chipped away the marble that was hiding this incredible being behind it.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm.
Feeling, seeing the beauty that was there.
So to
Yep.
all the people that go
So
through
now you're going to see
hardship,
him very differently.
yes, absolutely. Because I viewed myself that I would be his protector. Because of these narrow walkways, I um, I gave him me that I promised he didn't have to lurch out at another animal first, that I would be the one to make sure he's safe. So that way he didn't have to lurch out. But here, after being with you on FaceTime yesterday, I didn't have to do that because he was safe within himself.
Fascinating. Eh? And if you think about it before, what you were putting out is fear.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
the oh factor. And one of the things that you can choose, and someone else can choose, is, if you just, as you're walking down the walk, you can help other people there by just even in your imagination, making this little Zoom this infinity sign. Sorry about my phone. Infinity sign just, can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. And it's
Yes.
in that infinity sign. You can even do a little bit just close to your body so people don't even know what you're doing. And you can even imagine it out there among all the people, and it has a very calming effect. It creates harmony. So you can create that in the area that you're going into, and you can create that for everyone
Oh,
and
wow.
all the dogs.
That's
The
beautiful.
infinity wave. And you've seen me do it, with kittens that were just totally terrified in a shelter.
Yep. I have it on video. I have it on film.
Completely calmed them. Yeah. So, my
Linda,
dear, I have to go because I have to take this call from Germany.
I
So,
know. I love you. Bless you. Thank you. We'll talk
love
later.
you and Milo. Can you put him up here again, please?
Milo, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
I just want to see him.
Hey,
Hi.
want to come check?
Hey, Eleanor, I'm going to hang up, okay? Bye,
Thank
Eleanor.
you. I love you. Bye bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.